Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar on Microsoft Dynamics AX for Retail, delivering the future of retail today. My name is Sahar Sakeb and I am a product technology specialist that will take you through this webinar. So what do we have on the agenda today? I will be introducing AX as well as AX for Retail. I then will be going into the product and demonstrating a brief look and feel in relation to AX2012 and also going into the point of sale system to show you how the system is a fully integrated solution. And then we'll be finishing off by giving you our contact details and how you can arrange to talk to us if you are interested. Okay, so taking a look at our agenda in a little bit more detail. What is Microsoft Dynamics AX2012? We're going to be covering off the dynamic retailer and looking at the Microsoft vision for retail. So what is Microsoft Dynamics AX2012? It is a fully integrated ERP solution covering modules around manufacturing, distribution, retail, services, public sector. It also covers core ERP capability around financials, production, project management, your supply chain management, your trade and logistics, HR management, sales and marketing, etc. So what is the dynamic retailer all about? In reality, this means that retailers need to be more connected, more empowered and more proactive than ever before. In other words, they need to be dynamic. And that means being connected to customers across all your channels, to listen, learn and respond with consistent experiences, offering customers what they want. It's about empowering your employees to increase their productivity and their effectiveness in the workplace. And finally, it's about being proactive, so by accessing that critical information in real time. So the dynamic retailer really wants to take advantage of new market opportunities fast, and that means having the ability to grow or evolve their business. So what is the Microsoft vision for retail? The vision for retail is to provide retail customers with an end-to-end multi-channel solution for for store management, merchandising, ERP, CRM, enabling customers to be connected and proactive. I guess multi-channel management really focuses on the management of your retail stores, your online stores and your online marketplaces. Customer care and social commerce aspect is all around social media. So it's the integration of Facebook, Twitter, Yammer and that sort of stuff around the application. And finally, you've got your standard core ERP functionality around your financials, your supply chain, your replenishment, etc. So before I go on any further, I thought it might be a good place to give you a brief demonstration of AX as well as AX for retail. So that will entail a general navigation in the product. I'll be focusing on the role centers and the reporting all from within what's called the retail headquarters. I then will be logging into the point of sale application and showing you a brief look and feel as to how the point of sale screen looks like. So with that being said, let's go into the application. Okay, so the application starts off really with a screen that looks similar to this depending on who you're logged in as. Before I actually discuss this screen in greater detail, I might start off with the area to the left of this screen, which is referred to as the navigation pane. Now the navigation pane is an area of the system that allows you to navigate to various modules depending on your rights and security in the organization. Now as you can see, the screen is looking very familiar to that of Microsoft Office Outlook, so immediately the user is feeling a sense of comfort and confidence because it's something that they are familiar with. Above the navigation pane, we've got the concept of the file and folder structure. And this again is based on the Windows Explorer file and folder structure concept, whereby again users can navigate to various functions within the application. Now because I'm in the home area, the file and folder structure is relative to that particular module. If I was to change my area to say the accounts payable module, you see that my file and folder structure has changed completely. So it's very relevant to the module you're working in. Above the file and folder structure, we've got what's called the concept of favorites. And the favorites are work very similarly to Internet Explorer favorites, so whereby you can add frequently visited pages and functions to a list. You can then design and create customized folders and arrange your favorites in those folders to make those functions quite easy to find at a later date. Above the favorites, we've got the forward and back buttons, and the forward and back buttons again highlighting the relevance to Internet Explorer technology and the platform there, the fact that you can use the forward and back buttons to really move forward or back within the application. One of the most interesting points here is the fact that you've got a travel history button just next to the forward arrow, and that keeps a trail of all the frequently visited pages you've visited in the application, which makes finding those functions and those pages again a lot quicker without having to click forward or back multiple times to find where you were. Then we've got the concept of the address bar just next to the forward and back buttons, and again that's used very similarly to an Internet Explorer address bar, where you can essentially find your way in the application. If you are a company that had multiple entities, you can easily toggle between various entities by clicking which entity you wish to trade in, so it's as simple as that. And finally, we've got the concept of the search box up the top right hand corner, and that essentially is used to search for menu items, data and functions across the entire application. So now we come to the the most important aspect of this particular page, which is the role center. The role center is the area to the center of the page, and that really refers to a user's personalized dashboard. So it's the first place a user comes to when they start up the application every day. Now, because I've logged in as a sales manager, the information that I'm seeing in this particular role center is relevant to my role in the business. So for example, I'm seeing reports in the form of an activity analysis report or an opportunity analysis report. I'm seeing a report that's giving me a pipeline by process stage. I'm also seeing KPIs that are relevant to me in the organization. One of the most important aspects of this particular role center is the notion of queues, which are these little boxes here that I'm actually pointing to now. Now, these queues essentially force a user to take action. For example, you can see that I've got 36 active opportunities. You can note how easy it is to take action by simply clicking on the queue itself, and that takes you to what's called a list page. I'll be going through the list page very shortly, but for the purpose of this exercise, we'll hit our back button to go back to where we were. So essentially, in a very short amount of time, you've seen the effectiveness of the role center in it telling the user what to do, and it forcing them to take action, thereby increasing their productivity within the organization. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to open up what's called a list page. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to open up a list of all of my customers. Now, everything in AX is governed by what's known as a list page, whether it be your customers, your vendors, your purchase orders, your purchase requisitions, your employees. They all sit behind what's called a list page. Now, before I show you how you can manipulate data within a list page, I might take you through some of the components of this particular page you're looking at. Starting by the area at the top of the screen, which is noticed or which is referred to as the ribbon. Now, the ribbon in this particular example refers to buttons that allow you to perform certain functionality around this particular list page. So for example, my customer tab allows me to edit my customers. It allows me to create new customers. I can view, send this list to Excel if I wanted to. I can view their bank accounts. If I wanted to sell directly from within this list page, I can click on my Sell tab, and that will allow me to create new opportunities for this customer, or perhaps create a quotation if I wanted to. So each tab has got relevance to the functionality you wish to perform. Now, because I'm in a customer list page, the tabs and the buttons that I'm seeing are relevant to customers. However, if I was in a purchase order list page, or for example a vendor list page, obviously the buttons and the tabs would be different, as it would be pertaining to the function or the list page that you're actually working in. As you can probably note as well, that list page is looking very similar to that of Office, Word or Excel, where you've got your tabs across the top, and then you've got buttons represented by functions that allow you to perform certain tasks. So again, it's highlighting the fact that the application is built on common platform, encouraging the user and driving their productivity in your business. The area to the right-hand side of this list page is referred to as the fact box pane. Now the fact box pane is essentially designed to give you information relating to the customer without having to drill down into multiple screens. So for example, notice as I'm actually scrolling through my list, the area to the right-hand side is actually changing as it's referring to the line or the customer that I'm actually on. There's also a nice neat feature to be able to refresh a customer's statistics, which gives you their balance within a click away. Now the area to the bottom of this particular list page is referred to as the preview pane. And the preview pane again is designed to give you information about the customer at a high level without having to drill down. So for example, we can see their credit limit, what their terms of payment are, what their method of payment is, if they've got a cash discount. So again, it's giving you that information, at a high level, increasing your productivity, saving you time. Now searching and sorting for data is very, very simply done. If I wanted to sort on a particular column, it's as simple as clicking on the column once to sort in ascending order and clicking on it again to sort in descending order. Now that can be applied across any of these columns you see in this particular grid. Now this isn't to say that this is essentially what you see. You can, however, personalize this particular grid by adding and or removing columns depending on what you wish to see for a particular customer. Now if I wanted to find a particular customer, so searching for a customer, it's simply done by coming into this particular box. For example, if I wanted to search for all of my customers starting with the keyword CONT, you can see how quickly that's filtered my list, bringing up all of my customers that start with the word CONT. By taking this search one step further, I could say only show me customers with a credit limit greater than $2,000. Again, you can see how quickly that's filtered my list. Now, the bidirectional capability within Excel, or the integration to Excel, can be envisaged quite simply by exporting this list directly to Excel, which means we then have the ability to manipulate the data once it's in Excel. So that's gone through, and in a minute it should give me my data in a nicely neated spreadsheet. You notice there's now a Dynamics AX tab within Microsoft Office Excel, which allows me to do a number of things. For example, if I go into my field chooser button, this is now Excel looking directly into AX. So these are a list of all of my available fields that I can drag and drop and pin to this particular sheet. So for example, if I was interested in, say for example, I'll just pick any fields here just to show you the exercise. So we'll just pick all of our fields that we want, and once we're happy with the fields that we wish to see, we simply close the field chooser and click on refresh all, and that's gone in and refreshed our data for us. Now taking it one step further, we could for example update our data. So for example, if we had a list of 100 or so customers and we wanted to update their credit limit in one hit, we could actually go through and update this data directly from within Excel and simply publish this data back directly into AX, which saves you a lot of time in the long run. Now finally, what I wanted to show you, or what I wanted to discuss, was the extensive range of reporting capability available to you in the application. And for this particular exercise, I'll run one report from here, and then I'll be logging in as an administrator to show you some of the other reports that are available. First of all, we've got a report that's available to us in our role center, which is this pipeline by process stage report. I can simply click on this particular stage, and this will actually fire up a report directly from the web, but it's looking directly into AX. So that's one example of a particular type of report. So this is referred to as a role center report. Another example of a report is, for example, a standard report which is available. So for example, I can run my customer item statistics report just to show you the example. Now, I want to mention here the fact that the report can be run as a recurring job, and it can be emailed out to a number of people as well. So if I was to quickly run this report, you put in your parameters, the report runs, and I want to also mention the fact that these reports also include the ability to drill down if you wanted to. So you've got full capability to drill down directly from within the report directly into the application. So So we'll give that a couple of seconds to load, and there you go. Any column that's got blue text with an underline allows you to do the drill down. So I can perform drill down directly from within this report if I wanted to. And finally, the last type of report I wanted to show you is a type of analysis report that's available. And for that, I will actually log in as an administrator. So here is my screen back into AX as an administrator. So this is my role center as an administrator. And to show you that particular report, I will open up Excel. And this is just some of the examples of types of reports you can extract from the system. So I've got a sales by customer report, which is your typical slice and dice report. So you've got a number of fields available to you on the right hand side where my mouse is now, which allows you to drag and drop fields by using your standard pivot table functionality. For example, my sales by customer report, or in this particular case, my sales by customer group report. So for example, if I wanted to slice and dice this report by date, I can easily drag my field across, simply say OK to that particular message, drag it across, so for example, across my columns, and that essentially has changed my report. You see how it's changed my graph as well. Or if I wanted to split that across my rows, I can easily do so, and again, you see how quickly that's actually changed the data. So, going back to our presentation, just touching on some of those benefits that we've just seen within Microsoft Dynamics AX. First of all, you've seen how the system allows or encourages for user adoption. With familiar and easy to use Microsoft interface and the fact that there are tools that the user already is familiar with, it encourages user adoption and helps drive their productivity, which is my next point. As the users are told what they should be doing through the use of those cues and the role center that we saw, and the fact that information and functions are only one click away. Thirdly, it focuses and controls on staff by allowing strong and flexible workflow controls and down to field level security. And finally, it allows for better decisions at all levels because users are provided with the most important information, and the drill downs are easily manipulated, and the data is there to be manipulated as well, quite simply. So moving on to our next area of our demonstration, which is looking at AX for retail. So what I'm going to be covering off here is I'm going to be talking about the organisational hierarchy, looking at the retail headquarters. I'll be covering off a bit about merchandising management, and then we'll be finishing off by showing you a complete workflow demonstration with the point of sale system. So for this particular exercise, again, I will be logging in as an administrator, and I'll fire up my application. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be looking at is organisational hierarchy, and for this particular exercise I wanted to show you how the organisational hierarchy allows you to view your business from a different perspective. It actually represents your business and the structure of your business by allowing you to chop and change as your business grows. So I will be showing you, for example, a stores by type hierarchy. Now, retail supports multiple retail channels. So think of retail channels as essentially your retail stores. Now, they include stores, online stores, they could be marketplaces as well, where each store can have its own setup. It can have its own registers, it can have its own method of payment, it can have its own price groups, etc. Now, retail uses organisational hierarchies to structure retail channels. Now, for this particular exercise, I've opened up a stores by type hierarchy where we've got our legal entity separated by our business units, which happen to be our outlet stores, our superstores and our mall stores. And then within those business units, we've got a number of stores that are attached to each of those business units. So these become our retail channels. So these are all Adventure Works clothing sporting stores, and they happen to be located all around the US. So the stores then can share data that's used for assortments, for replenishment and reporting. So you can see how effective the hierarchy designer is. And if you did experience change, so if a store moved from a particular business unit to the other, it's very simple by clicking edit and essentially either removing the particular store or inserting a new store, whether it be a retail channel or a business unit. The next area we're going to be looking at is all around merchandising management. And for this particular area, I want to cover off a couple of different functions. Now, merchandising is all about driving your costs. So it's really about your pricing, it's about discounts, it's about lay-bys, it's about gift cards. It's all about functionality around your loyalty as well. And that's some of the areas that we'll be covering off in the next couple of moments. The first thing I wanted to show you was talk about category management. Now, the category management in Microsoft Dynamics AX allows you to group your products into a tree structure, which allows you to base your pricing and discounts on quite easily. It's also quite useful for reporting purposes as well. So, for example, if we were to open up our retail product hierarchy, we can see we've got a tree structure that looks something similar to this. So we've got our action sports and apparel and footwear, our exercise and our team sports. And within each of those nodes, we've got subnodes that allow us to group our products into various levels. Now, the beauty about category management is the fact that you can go down to the nth level. So there's no restriction on how many levels you can have. It's also quite useful to report on these categories at a later date. So if you wanted to work out, for example, how a particular group is going, for example your accessories or for example your backpacks, you can easily run your reporting off these particular categories. Now, the category management also extends to other areas of the application. So this is an example of a retail product category specifically used in the point of sale system. Now, AX also supports category management in relation to procurement and sales. So you can drive different groupings or different levels or different structures based on purchasing or based on sales. In this particular case, retail is our one that we're going to be focusing on. So the main idea or the purpose behind category management is really about effectively and easily identifying your products and applying attributes across or around them. So here we see we've got specific product attributes where we can set up specific purchase pricing or sales pricing or units, and then we can apply them to specific legal entities if we wish to. So each legal entity can have its own set of basic product properties. The next area we're going to be looking at is the area of assortment management. Now, in retail, when we talk about assortments, we're really talking about the availability of products to various retail channels or stores. So in this particular case, I'm opening up a list of all of my assortments in my database, and I've got a base assortment, I've got an outlet assortment, and I've got a superstore assortment. So for example, if I was to click on my outlet assortment and go into edit, and I click on yes, I can see a list of all of my products that are available to me in this particular assortment. Now, in this particular case, I'm using my categories that we saw earlier on to dictate what type of products are available in this particular assortment or this particular channel. So I've got a retail channel set up called Outlet Stores, which you saw earlier on in the Hierarchy Designer. And all those stores that pertain to that particular channel will be receiving these particular products. Now, in this particular case, I'm actually making all of my products available in the outlet. To show you the effectiveness of this, I guess if I was to open up my superstore and click on yes, I can see, for example, again, I've got a retail channel relating to this particular assortment, which is my superstore, and I'm assigning all of my products. Taking it one step further, for example, if I was to go up and open up my mixed assortment and click on edit and say yes, here I've only got a number of stores, and these are not my channels, these are actual stores. So I've got my VentureWorks Seattle, Copenhagen, my Central Region, and my superstores. And again, by clicking on add products, I have the ability then to only make certain products available to this particular assortment. So for example, I only want action sports, and within action sports I only want, for example, these 3 products. So by doing this quite simply, you can see how easy it is to maintain and make those products available for a particular point in time. So the assortment scheduler is a process that gets run that actually makes those products available to the point of sale. So it's a process that gets run within the retail headquarters, which is where I'm at now, and it actually updates those products and makes them available to the stores. The next area I'm going to focus on, just conscious of time, is the area of pricing. So if we go back to our retail area page, we've got a number of options available to us in relation to pricing and discounts. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the discount offers. Now, the discount can be set up by product, by group of product, or for a specific point in time. So for example, in this particular case, I've got a number of discounts available to me in the point of sale system. I've got a grand opening sale whereby I've got 4 products that are on sale. I also have a baseball sale, which I've got 2 products that are on sale, and the discount percentages are actually shown there. And finally, I've got a quilt sale as well. So the discounts essentially allow you to apply a discount to a particular retail price group. So it's based on your regions, and price groups actually belong to your retail store. So this is where you can introduce store-specific discounts if you wanted to. The next area we're going to look at is mix and match discounts. So this really allows you to, for example, create promotions where you buy a number of, for example, this particular case, you buy 2 items from apparel and footwear and you get a water bottle for free. So it's really where you buy X quantity for a particular product and you get something at no charge. Your quantity discounts allow you to create discounts on products based on quantity purchase. So for example, in this particular case, you get 20% off all helmets when you buy 2 or more. And again, it's based on a retail price group. So it's introducing the concept of store-specific discounting based on regions. And then you've got your price adjustments, which are typically used for generic discounts across a range of your products over a period of time. Before I get to the workflow demonstration, which is just about what we're going to do, I might quickly talk about loyalty and gift cards. AX for Retail supports functionality around loyalty schemes. So in regards to loyalty, you can set up loyalty programs which offers rewards and incentives for customers. Now, this behaviour promotes profit for a business because customers can use the loyalty card as a form of ID when they make the purchase. In this particular case, I'll open up my loyalty schemes and you can see I've got a footwear scheme that is applied, and this is where for every $10 spent on footwear, I'm issuing 1 particular point. So when points accrue, you can then allow your customers to receive certain discounts off products. Now, gift card functionality I will show you when we open up the point of sale, but just so you know, the solution offers the support for gift cards, which is a popular type of voucher that can be issued at one store and redeemed at multiple stores in your organisation. So the retail system actually keeps track, and just to show you, it keeps track of all the gift card balances. So for example, you can see the store number, the transaction number and the date, as well as the amount that was actually either redeemed or issued. So now the point you've all been probably dying to see is the point of sale application. Just a note, and I guess this is one of the main benefits of AX for retail, is the fact that the point of sale system is a fully integrated system within retail headquarters and the point of sale application. So the point of sale system, which is the screen you're seeing now, integrates directly to AX, which is what I've just been talking to you earlier on about. Now, in this particular demonstration, I've got a retail store that's all around sporting and active wear. Now, the application starts off with a screen that may look like this. Now, this screen can be customized, so you can put in your logo, you can put in your images. Now, the system supports a swipe login or a manual login. So in this particular case, I will show you how I can log in as a cashier. And as I've logged in, I've been presented with a screen that looks something like this. And again, just to highlight the flexibility of the point of sale system, you can change the button. So for left-handed people versus right-handed, you can change the color, you can change the scheme, you can insert your own logos and graphics. So it's very, very customizable, very, very flexible. So what I'm just going to quickly show you is a quick cash sale followed by a customer order, and I think that's all we've got time for, unfortunately, today. So just to show you, for example, if I've got a customer walking to my store and they're purchasing a particular item, I can simply click on a particular button which takes me to a product sale. Say, for example, I want to purchase this particular raincoat. It's now prompting me for a size, color, style. So the system supports configurations around that, and you can also have specific pricing set up pertaining to this particular configuration. So say I want a black, I'll have a small, and I'll go for a hood. So the system has actually brought up its price automatically. And say, for example, I could go home and I can go back into my team sports, and also say the customer wanted to purchase a baseball bat. Now, if these buttons are not useful for a particular customer, you can also use the keypad here to actually scan the items through a barcode scanner or type up the product code directly into the keypad. So for a quick cash sale, you can see the total there is $137.48, and you can select the method of payment. So say they paid me by cash, so the customer gave me $150. By simply clicking on OK, the system works out the change, pops a drawer, and away you go. Now say for example a customer walks into your store and wants to purchase a product that you may not necessarily have in stock. The system's got the ability to support what's called a customer order. So for example, say they walk in and you obtain their details from them. So say in this particular case, just to show you the example, I'll bring up my customer. So they've gone in and they want this particular baseball mitt, but you don't have it in stock. So you create what's called a customer order. So you confirm their customer information. You then go into the shipping and delivery and say, do you want to have it shipped or do you want to pick it up? In this particular case, we'll say the customer is coming to pick it up, and our store is our AdventureWorks Seattle store. And finally, if we go into the order summary, we can see that the system has automatically created a 10% deposit. So there's various rules you can set up in the background to automatically dictate how you wish to obtain the money from the customer. If we click on save, it's actually brought up the order with a balance of the 10% deposit, which the customer needs to pay for to reserve the goods. We can then say, yep, all right, the customer's walking away, sorry, not with the goods, but they're walking away with this order. So they're paying us $10, we'll give them the change. And now the system actually going in and actually creating the order. Now just to show you the integration to AX, if we open up the headquarters and if we go up into our sales orders, we can see how quickly that integration is fired by going into our open orders, and there is our baseball mitt that is being created for us. So if we double click on this particular line, it was for basketball stadium as our customer, and there you go. That's showing you the full integration, end-to-end integration of AX and the point of sale system. So going back to our PowerPoint, just to highlight some of those benefits that we've just seen. There's no double or manual handling of information. It's a complete, fully integrated solution from point of sale through supply chain and financials, as you've just seen. You've got deep reporting insight and facilitating better decision making. So you've got a fully integrated solution allowing you to see full operations. There's comprehensive standard reports as well as your analysis type reports that you can build in Excel, and with that you've got the full BI suite embedded. The system allows you to improve customer service with its intelligent inventory planning and end-to-end solution. You've got full visibility of inventory in other stores and other warehouses, and you've got customer service and e-commerce capability as well. Fast training of retail staff. The system is very easy to use. It's an intuitive POS interface, and again, it's very flexible. So you design it the way you wish to design it. It's a very familiar Microsoft environment, which makes it very easy for your end users to latch onto. And again, referring to the customizable interface for the role, store, or user, such as your left-handed versus right-handed. And finally, it's purpose-built for the retail industry. You've got your centrally controlled functions that allow you to increase efficiency and reduce complexity within your organization. And it's a complete, fully integrated solution encompassing, again, point of sale store, your headquarters, which is your AX, your supply chain, your financials, and so on. So just a little bit about us. We are an organization called Hands-on Systems, and there's our website there for more information. And just to give you some of our household retail customers, Harvey Norman, Big Buys, and if you want more information, there are my contact details available by email, and we've got offices in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane.